Okay, you guys, I'm excited to be doing this DIY today. So I have these dollar store seat pads that, I usually just get these and then I usually will donate them or something at the end of the season because they are dollar store and they're a little bit thin. But I think they add something fun to your chairs if you're looking for something that's a little on the cheaper end. Because most of the time I use my bigger decorations for around, the tree and everything else in the fireplace. But for my chairs, I think this is cute. So I needed to upscale this a little bit. It's about 4 inches too short on my chairs because my chairs, they go small and they go bigger. So I needed 4 inches and I wanted to add on some ribbon just to cover that 4 inches that I needed to cover. And this fabric I got at Hobby Lobby, and this ribbon I got at Hobby Lobby, and then this ribbon I got at the Dollar Tree. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these two pieces together because I want it to be covered up a little bit, kind of overlap over this green edging that we have going on here. So I'm going to sew these together first, and to make sure that I have it exactly where I want it, I'm going to sew this side first and this side first in a straight stitch. So I want in between this white right here on the burlap, I want to make sure that that's where I'm sewing down. So I want to put that part just a little bit further down on top of this other ribbon. So I'm going to start with that. I'm just going to hold it together and I'm going to sew it down in a straight line just from where this starts. And I'm gonna do it kind of close to the edge. I would say probably just right up against the presser foot. That's where I want it to go. And I am gonna go all the way down. Okay, so I have that side. Where my scissors were for a second there. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the other side. And I did end up cutting off, because both of these ribbons have wire in them, I ended up cutting off this top section right here from the wire because I didn't want it to sew funny, just in case it hit that wire. So you can see right here that it looks like it's just right underneath the back of this white ribbon. So that's where I'm gonna put it on this side, hold it, and I'm gonna sew down this side again against that presser foot. It's hard. Hey guys, I am not doing back stitching on this. I know you totally can. I'm not going to because, like I say, I just wanted a quick fix for how this is gonna look on my chairs. And I usually will, take these to DI and donate them unless somebody friends wants them. But I have kids. Sometimes they can get food on them. So I don't want to fuss about it too much because, like I say, I just want it for the season. So now that that is, connected on those sides, it's going to be a lot easier to sew down the middle of this 2 white ribbons that are on the burlap. Going right in the middle, start sewing. Really good at my thread came out. Pause. Okay, we should be up and running again. Okay, so now that's attached together. Now I gotta do that 6 more times so I can attach it to the 6 chairs that I have. So I will get to doing that and then I will show you how I'm going to attach it seat cover. Okay, all right, so I've been playing around with this and I just wanted to let you know I had some extra seat covers that I had bought at the beginning of, I think it was, maybe towards the end of October and the beginning of November. I found these ones and I thought that this was just the red truck one that they were gonna have for the season, but then I found these a couple weeks ago and I like these better. So, because I had extra of these, what I've done is I've cut around the edge of the extra one and I took the foam padding out and I measured as much as I needed for my ribbon to go underneath, and then I cut the foam off just the same size of this ribbon. And then in order to piece them together so that they somewhat come together nice and flat and the same height, what I did is I took some, and you can do whatever you want to. You can do fabric. I just thought that this was easier. And I just laid this across the top of the foam and the edge of the seat cover, and I went around. So when I placed it on top, I made sure that the corner edging that I had cut off was to the same corner, and I just kind of sewed all the way around so that they could meet up. So that's what I did for those, just to make it nice and level. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off this part of it's like a burlap, but I'm gonna cut it off. I just wanted it to fuse those together. So now I just wanna cut it off so that it's not gonna interfere or show underneath. It's nice. So now I'm just the ribbon that we sewed earlier, and I'm just on top of that, sew it on. And the foam is a little bit too big, I've noticed, and that's fine. Just cut it off. Once we sew it this way, then I'm gonna sew around the edge, and then I'm just gonna cut off the extra foam pad. Like I said, this is just something I wanna do quick and so we're gonna do. So now we're gonna go over it again. I am doing a zigzag pattern on this because I really wanna make sure that it's nice and on there. And I'm just laying it over the top of where that zigzag pattern was under. We still want to keep it, focus on this, a little bit longer, and then I'll show you what we're going to do on the sides in a minute. Now this does, for me, this requires a walking foot. So if you don't have a walking foot, you might want to use, if you want to do a no-sew, you could just do, you know, a hot fabric glue that you put in your glue gun, or you can use the fabric glue that's just straight fabric glue, and then you don't have to worry about sewing it. So this can be done either way. I just like to sew it. There of that. So I'm gonna pull it out. Okay, so now we have that's nice and sewn on, and I just went right across that middle piece with a zigzag stitch, and it looks super pretty. So I am going to sew around this edge just with a straight stitch so I can get it nice and adhered to this foam pad. So you will have to kind of maneuver it around like this as you go. And then once we're done with that, then I'll cut off the extra of the foam pad that I don't need. And there we go. Okay, so I put it right on that edge there. Don't forget. All right. Separate my up of and then around. See how I'm turning. And I would kind of slow down as you get around that corner, just so you can really see where you're sewing there. Just a second. Kids knocking on the door for me. And now I am going to go around and I'm going to cut off this edging, and I will show you what it looks like there. Okay, after trimming off all of the sides here, I think I'm gonna leave it like this, because like I say, I don't want to go too much into it because I just want it to be something simple and easy. However, if you want to, you can add some trim on the outside of this. You can do ribbon, or you can do, you know, tape and go around the edge if you want, but I don't want to do much more than this because I wanted it to be quick and easy. I just wanted that extra, you know, like 4 inches on there. And so I'm gonna just leave it like this. And then I will put this on my chair and I will show you a picture of how it looks at the end of this video. I hope you guys like this tutorial. It was just something that was just quick and easy, so hopefully you kind of got the idea, or it gives you another idea of how to do something similar. And okay, so today I'm just going to show you me sewing 2 of these blankets that I got at a Black Friday sale. They were selling these, I think, for $3.99 each. And usually what I end up doing is I'll buy 2 and then I sew the 2 together just so that it's a little bit more warm, it's a little bit thicker, makes it for a nicer, fluffier blanket. So I'm just going to show you how I just sew these 2 together. It's so easy, but I wanted to show what I'm doing, because why not? Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can sew them inside out and then flip them by leaving a hole. I think with these kind of blankets, I just like to sew them right on top of each other together. So you can see where they just folded over the edges of this and then just sewed it like that. That's what I want to get rid of. I don't want to see that. So I'm going to put the 2 blankets together and just sew around both of those edges. So you want to find the more narrow side, and then you're going to open up the other one and just put it right on top. So you want both of your undersides touching each other. So like both of these sides that you can see the seam on, you want those touching, because I'm just going to sew those just right together. Make sure that they are, and some people will pin them. I do not, just because I want to get it done with fast and easy, so I don't do that. Okay, so now I've got the right sides that I want together. I am going to start in a corner, and for these type of blankets I do like to do a back stitch, and I think I normally will do a zigzag, but with this I don't want to see it, so I'm going to do a straight stitch. And I recommend using a presser foot if you have one. The presser foot is just awesome for all of these things. And I am just going to try and get it along this line right here that they already have sewn on this blanket. So that's probably just, I'm going to basically align this edge with the edge of my presser foot. Like I say, you can pin these, or you can use like these clamps to try and make sure that those edges stay together. I'll sometimes use that. I just don't want to take the time to pin it all together, just because this is just going to be a quick project. And then I am going to back stitch a little bit and then continue on. When it gets up to my clamp, that's when I'm going to move it down, just to make sure that those 2 edges are staying together. All right, one side is done. Now we're going to do the longer side, and this is how it's looking so far. Just nice and put together. It doesn't have, you can't see the edge that they have on the back. Like I say, with these blankets, it's cheaper to just buy the blanket than to actually go and buy materials. So I usually grab these up when they have these blankets that go on sale, because you always see them at like Walmart for cheap, or wherever you go. I was at Fred Meyer, well, it's Smith's Marketplace now, but I was at a Fred Meyer that also sells like clothes and things like that. So you gotta grab these up when you can. because they make for awesome blankets once you put the two pieces together. So this will make a nice cozy blanket. I am gonna cut off this tag that's at the bottom here, just because I don't want there to be any stiff spots in there to make it feel any different. Here's the tag on the other blanket that I'm cutting off. And then this is the last side. I can already tell this is so much nicer and thicker. All right, you guys, let's have a look at this. See how it looks. All right. All right, perfect. Oh my gosh, this is so much thicker, and you don't have a side where you can't see, like where you can see the edging. It's just all one piece, and it's double-sided now, so it's gonna be nice and thick, and I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna put this upstairs on my couch, and I've got a couple other blankets that I'll be doing the same thing with. I have another one that's this size, and then I did get a bigger size that was $8.99, I think. So, but it was a bigger size than these ones, so it was a little bit more, just because the size was bigger, it was more material. But again, usually it costs a lot more than even $20. Usually it costs around $40 for material, like if you go to Joann's, even when they're having a sale. So it's cheaper to buy these cheaper blankets and double them up together. So that's another savings tip for you if you want to make some nice blankets for some people in your family or for some of your friends. Buy some of these cheaper blankets up and just sew them together. And it'll be nice and thick and warm and for a lot cheaper. I'll post pictures of all the blankets at the end.